up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is up? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike.
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really let, hello, casting wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitch was I thought Lil Bird was gonna turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Bird was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitch was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped here everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Hit me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have some blue thong or blue, Josh or something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Oh, hey, 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 hey. What is up? What is going on? Y'all know we got a lot of shit to break down. Yeah, we got to break this down. Y'all know we got a lot of shit to break down. Anyway, let me send the like only we can over here. Y'all know, the people try to cover politics on some of these other channels. Very few of us have the intellectual fortitude and wherewithal to really break this stuff down. And that's what we'll do over here, like we always do. Like we always do. And yeah, y'all, we are here. Listen. I'm breaking out the bottle of wine, and you listen. What kind of wine am I drinking? It's a white wine, but I went back to get this a Georgia muscadine wine. It's a cheap wine. It ain't like expensive, but it's real good, y'all, and it's so good. And it's a good percent. It's 13.5% alcohol, which is good for a wine. So we're gonna pour us a little cup of wine. Because we finna have a good time breaking this down, y'all. We finna break this down like only we can. What y'all got? I done poured half the goddamn bottle in my damn cup. Judge your mama, don't judge me. We over here celebrating today. Ciao. Oh, happy day when Jesus was. Oh, when he was. Cheers. When Jesus was. He washed my sins away. He locked Donald Trump up. Well, he ain't locked up yet. We're gonna break that down too. How are y'all? Let me say hey to y'all. Listen, I know Really B is still live. I've been texting her. She getting ready to end her live and send her people over here. So we listen. That's that first sip. All right, let's get in here. Let me say hey to y'all while y'all are in here. Let me put the banner up because I always forget to put the banner up. So let's do that. So let me say hey to y'all while y'all come in here. Of course, with all of the pressing news of the day, we are certainly gonna start with our Sugar Spike segment. So don't worry. Larry is gonna bring us into our Sugar Spike segment. But let me say hey to y'all. Hey Jason, what's good, bruh? Cassandra, what's up? Yeah, I am early. I did start about 15 minutes early. Hey Cassandra, L Sid, yes, I am early. How are you today? How are you today, sir, senor? China White, what's good, boo? Hey, Tracy W, Kelly Hans, y'all are up in here. Danny, don't you like this later start? Danny, you like the fact that I'm starting after 5 on the West Coast? It's after 5 on the West Coast. Maybe what I might decide to start doing some later run your mouths. You know, maybe a couple days out of the week, maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week, we might do a late night, or not late night, but a evening run your mouth instead of the drive at 5 on the East Coast, even though it's the drive at 5 on the West Coast. Anyway, hey Montrez, what's good, bruh? What is up? Let me say hey to y'all as y'all coming. Diamond Pearl Jim, Lovely 31 Blueprint, Opal, how are you doing, Miss Bay Thang? What's going on? And how you doing, Bap? I saw you over there on the panel. Jonathan, what's good? 5, what's good, bro? CK Amalay, what's good, my love? Shay, how you doing? Crispies. You know, we start later today. You know, normally we do the drive at 5 on the East Coast, but today we doing the drive at 5 on the West Coast. Okay. Hey, Taya. Is it Taya or Taya? I'm gonna say it's Taya. Anyway, Daddy said, I am happy you are all late. The anarchist was found guilty on all 34 charges. Y'all know we finna break this down. Y'all already know how this finna go. Listen. Because you know what? Me and Nick look alike. You know what? We're gonna talk about another one of our frat brothers today, too. Jonathan. So listen, because we have to start talking about y'all's favorite president. Of course, hey Andre, how you doing, boo? Vintage 1970, how you doing? Because we have to start there. Of course, it may, cause you to spike out. So we need our good brother Larry, may he rest in peace, to go ahead and usher in our favorite segment. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, you know what time it is. It is time for your Sugar Spike segment.
You see, this is the part that I like. Major Sugar Spike.
So long now, I want to fight. That he gave, his only begotten son.
Major Sugar Spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major Sugar Spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus! Just put a 34 in the chat, just because. Just put a 34 in the chat while I take another swig over here. Just put a 34 in the chat, just because. 34. Whew, that's good. That's good. Anyway, so let's talk about it. Let's break this down. I may even drop the link. Let me know if y'all need me to drop the link. If you want me to drop the link, put a 27 in the chat. If y'all want me to drop the link, because I can, to give y'all a little bit of space. We got a little bit of time now because we starting in the evening time, so we ain't got to be rushed. really be with first this time. So I ain't got to feel rushed. So if you need me to drop the link, let me know. Put a 27 in the chat if y'all want me to drop the link. If I get a couple people say drop the link, then I'll do that. If not, y'all know I'm gonna break this down like no other. So let's talk about this. The jury went into deliberations yesterday. They asked the judge to have the first witness, Mr. Pecker. They asked for his testimony to be read to them, as well as the testimony of Michael Cohen, his testimony to be read. That happened this morning. The judge reiterated and reread the counts and what it means for a guilty verdict and how you come to a guilty verdict. And they went back into deliberations this morning. The Judge Marchand, was literally Ms. Bay thinks they dropped the like, okay, Ms. Bay thing, I'll drop it for you. I'll do it once I get to the tail end of my commentary, then I'll drop the link so if people want to add commentary. So here's what happened. Judge Marchand was literally about to call them in and dismiss the jury for the day. That's how this was happening. They say your favorite president was over back there laughing and joking with his lawyers and stuff like that. And so Donald John, was living high on the hog. He was like, yeah, girl, I guess we'll come back tomorrow because the judge getting ready to dismiss the jury. Come to find out, when he went to go send the bailiff back there to go tell the jury we about to dismiss him, they were like, oh no, we finished. We ready. We ready to we already got our verdict right now. And they were like, so it took a little over 10 hours for them to deliberate, came back with the verdict, guilty on all charges. Jury came back, they say the courtroom, you could hear rat piss on cotton. Your favorite president was stone faced, and they read each of the 34 counts and said guilty on all 34 counts. Now, that does now make him a convicted felon. Now, let me give you some background information that you need to know as we move forward and we talk next steps. Background information. Let's talk about the district attorney, Alvin Bragg. Alvin Bragg, as a district attorney, is not a district attorney. He's not a prosecutor that looks to have heavy, hard, long sentences. That's not the history of him as a prosecutor. He's not going out and saying, I need the maximum sentence. He's never done that. That's not been his history as a prosecutor. So that, you got to think about that. You also have to think about when Alvin Bragg brought this case and he put forth the charges, he and many in the the DA's office were skeptical on whether or not they could get a conviction, and because of that, they made the charges Class E charges. Now, what does that mean by them being Class E charges? By these charges being Class E charges, these were charges that were at the lowest level you could be at to be considered a felony. It wasn't a Class A felony. It's a Class E felony, which is the lowest class you can have for it to be a felony. Some of the charges were misdemeanor charges that were out of the statute of limitation, but because of a loophole and provisos they found in the law, they could charge it as some of them as Class E felonies, and that would alleviate having to worry about the statute of limitation. So Alvin Bragg thinking, hey, this is the former president. We know how this goes. I need to get a conviction here. If I'm going to put him on trial, I need to get a conviction. And so the district attorney's office made that conscientious decision to say, we're going to do the Class E felonies and to get a conviction. Now, if you go and people have already started, as I've been perusing my trusted sources, people have already started to look up the history of Class E felonies and the sentencing of Class E felonies. And there's less than, I think the last source I saw said less than 5% of Class E felonies actually get jail time. They, in many cases, have to pay a large fine. They may get community service or different things, but yeah, not class C felony, class E, as in El Teddy felony. So it's not typical for them to get jail time, and that's even with the hardcore prosecutors. Hey, Catherine Powell. Hey, Demetria. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, everybody. So, with that being said, now I'm no Pam Esquire, Esquire, the law intellect, because I defer all legal, jargon to Pam Esquire, the law intellect. That's why we have her. However, with the hey Yana, what's good, boo? Hey Nessa, what's good, boo? So knowing Alvin Bragg is not the type of prosecutor to seek, the top sentencing, the top in terms of sentencing, or the highest sentencing, and knowing that these are class E felonies. Hey Harold, hey. Let me pause for a second while everybody says hello to Harold. When Harold enters, for those of you new here, whenever Harold Cordero, hall monitor extraordinaire, hits the building and comes in, it's like cheers where everybody goes, Norm. That's how Harold is. So we have to pause for the cause to give everybody a chance to say hello to Harold. Hey, Harold. Hey. Let me pause so everybody can say hello to Harold. We love you, Harold. Hey, Universe Soul Goddess. Hey, Tracy C. Tracy C is our head hall monitor if you need her. If y'all need to know what's going on, see Tracy C. Harold is over there with snacks. Tracy C is our head hall monitor. She got her blue hall monitor sash. Xavier, when he get here, he'll start passing out the handouts for today's assignment and stuff like that. So all my people are in place. I'm just saying. Y'all see all of the people saying, hey, to Harold. Y'all, he's popular around these parts. He's popular. It's more his channel than it is my channel. I'm just saying. Anyway, so back to what I'm saying. With the history of Alvin Bragg and sentencing with Alvin Bragg, and these being class E felonies, I pretty much am secured in saying it'd be very unlikely for him to see jail time. He's still a convicted felon, but it'd be very unlikely for him to do jail time. Now, the other part of him being a convicted felon, remember, his official residence is in the great state of Florida, the Sunshine State, my home state. He votes in Florida. I vote in Florida because I have residence in 2 states, but my voting is still in the state of Florida. So what that means is he's subject to Florida law. Now, normally in Florida, if you're a convicted felon, you cannot vote. However, the Florida law, that's usually true because the people are usually convicted in the state of Florida. The Florida law that says felons cannot vote, the proviso in that same law says that it is dependent on where that felony comes from and the laws of that state. So, because his conviction comes from the state of New York, and convicted felons can indeed vote in the state of New York, he's not barred from voting in the state of Florida because his conviction comes from New York, and in the state of New York, he still has the ability to vote. And that is what would take precedent in terms of his ability to vote in Florida. So even though he's a convicted felon, he's not a convicted Florida felon. He was convicted in the state of New York, and he is not stripped of his rights to vote in New York as a convicted felon. That is the proviso. So as we're looking at this, so that's why I think it was Chuck Stovall in Really B's chat that said he couldn't vote in Florida. That's why I said I'll break that down a little further on my live. I didn't want to give it up then. You know what I'm saying? You got to save some stuff for your own live. So yes. So he indeed still will be able to vote in the election in Florida. Tracy said, listen, she's our head hall monitor. Tracy said her book bag is full of snacks. She got M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, Skittles, gummy bears, and drinks. She got Coke, Pepsi, orange, and grape. She says she might have a few shots of liquor and 3 hall passes. So if you need her, go check her out in her book bag. She sit in the back. Now, Tracy sit all the way in the back, so she could look at everything. She's the head hall monitor, so she sit in the back to look at everything and everybody. Xavier sits somewhere in the middle since everybody like Xavier. So Xavier's seat is always in the middle of the class. No, not Xavier. That's Harold. Harold's seat is in the middle. Xavier sit all the way in the front. Now, for those people new here, you're not allowed to sit by Xavier. You're not allowed to sit by Harold because they are troublemakers. Go sit by Diamond Pearl Jim. Go sit by. It's a couple people. Go sit, but it's a couple people you can sit by. Go sit by Danny. You can sit by Jason. Any of the other hall monitors, but Xavier and Harold, you can't sit by them for the first 6 weeks you here. If this your first time here, you got 6 weeks before you can sit by them. They crazy. So I did want to break that down first. You know, there's a couple things because you're gonna hear a lot of stuff going on. You say Tracy slipped you a good old Four Loko. Oh Lord. Here, the only person we know that's still drinking Four Locos. God. LC said, I got a bottle of 150. What? Okay. Let us know what y'all drinking on. Anyway, so I needed to break that down because you're going to hear all types of stuff that's being said all over Al Gore's good internet. That's why we hear, hey TJ, what's going on? Here down to the L3027 when we talk, and we talk politics all of the time. This is not a channel where we're not used to this. We talk politics all the time. We break the shit down over here so that you are informed and you know what is the real, not, you know, the fluff and all of this stuff that people try to tell you. You need to know what is real and what is fake. Now, the sentencing is scheduled for July 11th. Sentencing is scheduled for July 11th, which is a Thursday. And that is, I think, 4 or 5 days before the Republican National Convention, where they certify where they certify the elections, or not elections, dear God, they certify who their nominee for the presidential election will be. Interesting fact: in the year that Donald Trump won the election in 2016, a friend of mine, I'm not gonna lie, it's a friend of mine. We went to college together. He was one. If you look on this or on any video, there's on stage, there's a desk, and there's 2 people that are certifying and counting all of the delegates as they cast their, you know, votes for the nominee for the Republican National Convention. He was one of those people on stage certifying and counting all of the delegates. He went to college with me at Florida State, and you know, he was in college. He was in Young Republicans back in the day. He was there with Matt Gaetz was there too in the Young Republicans, but that's a different story. But I'm not gonna lie, he was a friend of mine. But he was up there on stage certifying. Really Beats House had platters. Just said, listen, this is the whole classroom over here, Taya. You over here asking for platters. I told you who to go see. You go talk to Tracy. Tracy got snacks. We are over here to learn. This is the whole classroom over here, and you looking for whole platters. Now, Harold might have something for you. If you need something to eat, go see Harold. He may have something, but the real person you need to go to is Tracy. The book bag Tracy got some of everything you need in there. However, you can't be coming over here, Taya, demanding stuff. You just got here. Go have a seat over there by Diamond Pearl Gym so she could teach you what's going on. You can't be rolling up your classroom the first day demanding platters and shit. What do you think this is? Lord, she came over here demanding stuff. You just got here. We ain't gonna even offer you no liquor. You got to be tried in the fire a few weeks. You got to make it through. You got to know the lingo around here. Okay? Lord, before you be over here demanding stuff. Cha. Y'all see, she came over here demanding like she was that girl. You just transferred into our class from another class. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Boo. Hey, Jay Parrish. Child, she just transferred over from a new school, thinking she rolled up in here running the place. Girl, we have a well-oiled machine over here. Child, you can't drink your own alcohol over here. Ain't no bring your own beer over here. Child. You bring your, we gonna send you right on out to detention. You try to break out your own liquor. Okay. Try to break out your own. You can't break out your own stuff. We have designated hall monitors who can service you and take care of whatever you need. Now, if you can't get it from the hall monitors, you can't have it unless you one of our, more seasoned people who come in here and they know how it go. I'm just saying. Yeah. Child. Hey, Jay Parrish. Jay Parrish, I had to fall out the clouds, honey. LC says some of us have flasks and we keep quiet about our flasks. You over here being loud about it, Taya. LC said, don't be over here trying to snitch on us. We did bring our own shit, but it's in a flask. And you over here trying to snitch on all of us. You done told the teacher we all brought our own shit. And we try to sneak drink our shit out the flask. You supposed to know, right, Taya? Get right or get left. That's an old quote. One of my old teachers that I was growing up. When I was growing up, one of my teachers used to always say, he used to say, don't come in here with the bullshit. You either get right or you get left. I ain't even understand what that meant. But now I understand. You either get right or you get left. How about that? Get right or get left. Mm-hmm. Child. Come on, Patron in a Sprite bottle, vintage 1970. Diamond Pearl. See, you even got Diamond Pearl Jim trying to help you out. Like, girl, Taya, don't be telling on yourself. Girl, shh, stay quiet with it. Teacher would have never known had you not said nothing. Hell, seriously, I got vodka in the water bottle falling out. Put in the chat what y'all sneaking in class. Just put in the chat what y'all sneaking in class. Because we all need something to drink as we celebrate 34. Here's the 34. Just there. Let's be clear. Donald John knew the writings were on the wall. That's why the other day he was like, yeah, even Mother Teresa couldn't beat these charges. And I'm sure Mother Teresa is rolling over in her grave like, bitch, how the fuck did I get in this shit? All I did was go down to Calcutta and other places and feed the poor and homeless and indigent and all of these infirmed. I helped the infirmed and indigent and the poor and the homeless, and I fed people, and I gave my whole life. And how the fuck I get in your bullshit, Donald John? Lord, how the fuck did Mother Teresa get in there? Now, the young kids don't even know who Mother Teresa is. They weren't even alive. Mother Teresa died, I want to say, like a couple days after Princess Diana died. And when Princess Diana died, Mother Teresa died, I want to say it was like less than a week later, and her death and funeral really got overshadowed by the world grieving Princess Diana. And I don't think Mother Teresa got her just due upon her death. Now she did get sainthood after her death. She did get sainthood, so she is a patron saint. But now Harold say he smelled marijuana. Now listen, that you got to go talk to Jason about the marijuana. Now, marijuana, that's all Jason in the back. Tanya might have some edibles for you. I don't even know if Tanya in here. Tanya might not be in here. So that means it's all Jason. Child. Listen, Tracy not lying to you. This is the corner. Listen, you know how they say go to the corner? This is the corner. This is that corner. You sipping on the Empress. Listen, Miss Bay think I got some Empress right here. Hold on. I think I got a corner. Yep. I got a corner of Empress right here. You know that's my gin. And I got a little bit left. I got a little bit of Empress. If I feel right, If I feel right, Miss Bay thing, I might take a little bit with you. I got you, Miss Bay thing. You know, we loves the Empress over here. Anyway, so let me continue to break this down. Let me get back on topic. Let me go back to my instruction. We got a whole dossier to break down today. So let me get back to on topic, okay? Right. The teacher got his own that this night school, child. This ain't regular class. This night school, so we could do a little more. But you can't come in here. You can't be coming in here like you own the place, Taya. We got rules. Hey, Diamond Onyx. I feel like I ain't seen you in a minute, boo. Everybody, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new here, please hit the like button. Also, consider subscribing. We'd love for you to subscribe and become a part of us. We have a great time every day, y'all. This is the best kept secret on YouTube. Okay. What we do over here is really the best kept secret. We have a good ass time. We got a small, we may be small, but we have a great time. We have all kinds of inside jokes, and we really love each other and have a good time over here. So consider pressing the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and if you're really inclined, you can go ahead and become a member. We have a members only chat that is legendary. If you ain't Really B will tell you. Really B says, Really B used to say, I thought about doing a members only chat, but L Teddy, your members only chat is good enough. That's all we need. My members only chat is legendary. If you're not a member and you haven't been a part of the members only chat, all I got to say is see the hall monitors and the members, and they could tell you in the chat how good the members only chat is. The shit is legendary. You get all kinds of shit. Danny, you say you miss Sexy Sunday. I might have to start back doing Sexy Sundays. My weekends be so busy though. Sexy Sundays, child. They don't know what's it. Sexy Sundays. I don't think it is night school today, but I don't know if the people ready for Sexy Sundays. Sexy Sundays. We talk meat, and more meat. Men and they meat. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Focus. Child, L Sid, you better tell them. I try to tell people all the time. They think I be lying about the members only chat. The members only chat is the best kept secret. The members only chat in this channel is the best kept secret on YouTube because we have a whole ass good ass time. Child, if y'all think it's wild here, the members only chat is listen. The members will tell you it's worth it. The members only chat is worth the price of admission. I'm just telling you what I know. It's worth the price of admission. So let's also talk about this. So Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Now, what does that really mean? What that really means is this. Tell him, L said it's real mild here, but in the members only chat, it is not mild. It is wide open. You see everything. Listen, what you have to do is you wake up in the morning and say, bitch, let me get up and see what I missed on the members only chat. Cause I don't know what the fuck these hoes don't put on that. You see it all. And when I say it all, you see it all in the members only chat. They don't fuck off. They don't miss a beat. That's why I say you need 6 weeks before you sit next to Harold and Xavier. Them two right there. Anyway, what does this mean for the presidential election? I want to really break this down. Let's really talk some politics and let's really break this down. And like I know somebody, I think it was Miss Bay thing said drop the link. So I'll drop the link now. But as I'm getting ready to break this down, but let me say this. Let me really break this down. What does this really mean? There's a contingency of voters that had said they were voting for Donald John. However, if Donald John was convicted of any faced a conviction or was actually convicted any of his criminal trials, that would change their vote. So there is a contingency of people who said, I'm putting up my quotation figures, who said that they couldn't vote for him if he was convicted. These were independent voters and even a few Republicans. However, do I feel like they I don't think all of those people are going to change their mind. I don't think this will change all of their mind. I think there'll be some, but I think it'll be less than the people who said that they would change their mind on Donald John, should he be convicted. Now, does this help Joseph Robinette? It does help Joseph Robinette. Okay. Um, well, Gabby, we already broke that down. He's not going to prison. Not off this. He's not going to prison off of this case. The other cases that he's up for, I don't see any of them being decided prior to election. The only one that possibly could be decided prior to election, and that's a far reach, is the Fulton County case, but I don't even see that one being decided before the election. So this may be the only conviction that we get before the election. There's a very real possibility. The Georgia case, Taya said, what about the Georgia case? The Georgia case, there's so many. Every time we feel like we're getting ready to start, the defense files new motions that stop the proceedings and stop the process. You have the Georgia legislature that's trying to investigate Fonnie Willis, and there's so many things. They're doing everything they can to kick the can down the road, and instead and give Donald John more time. Georgia is still a red state, even though it's elected 2 Democrat senators. It still is purple at best. And I say that because the Georgia legislature and governorship, all 3 branches of the Georgia government, are staunchly red. So, but you know what, Taya, you said finally should have, it didn't matter. Nathan Wade, if it wasn't Nathan Wade, they would have found some other procedural thing, or Nathan Wade was a red herring. They were doing everything they can to stop that case from proceeding forward. Nathan Wade was just something that they found. But if it wasn't Nathan Wade, it was going to be something else. They're looking for any and every way so that Georgia, Republican ass, part of the Confederacy ass Georgia, Southern State Confederacy state Georgia, doesn't want to look like the reason that a racist demagogue was kept out of the White House. So they're going to do everything in their power to make it where Fonnie Willis is seen like she's on trial as opposed to Donald John. I'm just saying. So if it wasn't Nathan Wade, it was going to be something. It could have been anything. They could have said, "Oh, we don't like the dress she got on. It's too revealing and it's not appropriate for a prosecutor. So we need to investigate whether or not, she should she's fit for office for, to run this case." They would have found any reason. So let me say this, and I'm going to say this. I don't want to be the channel that does this. I definitely don't want to be the individual that does this. And what I mean when I say does this, I don't want to center everything about November around the presidential election. That would be derelict of duties on my part. I would not be the YouTuber that I am. I would not be correct in my parceling and really breaking down the politics if I made it like November was only about Donald John and Joseph Robinette. Let's be clear. And I've said this to so many people. They get on these soapboxes and they talk all about Donald John and Joseph Robinette, and that's their only talking points. And my thing about it is, if we really go back to when Donald John was president, Donald John does not have the intellectual fortitude or wherewithal to be president of these yet to be United States of America. His intellect is not there. He doesn't know how to navigate through Washington. He doesn't know how to navigate through getting legislation through. He doesn't know any of that. If you really go back and break down his presidency, he didn't do a lot. A lot of his presidency that he takes credit for was other people doing it. It was the Department of Justice. Okay. It was the Senate, which was led by our resident Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Mitch McConnell. And I'm bringing that up for this case. It was Congress. It was the Senate. It was the Department of Justice. It was all of the people around him. He just took credit for it and became the face of it. But he himself didn't do anything. And I say that to say this. The November election is not about the presidency. The things that we need to be, I'm going to tell you what we need to be more concerned about in November. More than any president can affect your actual life, your day-to-day life, how you live, how you go about your life, and how you operate, and the freedoms and liberties that you have. Washington, D.C. does not do that. It is your respective capitals. Whatever capital, wherever your capital city is. If you're in Florida, it's Tallahassee. If you're in Georgia, it's Atlanta. If you're in now y'all gonna make me go back to like 6th grade geography where I have to remember all of the capitals of each state. I don't remember all of the capitals, but you know what your respective capitals are. And I say that because that's where your state legislatures meet. Your state legislatures are the people who actually affect your lives every single day. And that is far more important. Whether or not Democrats win back Congress, big news corporations will make it like that's the story. Big news corporate, yeah, go ahead and put in the chat your state capitals, okay? Please do that for me. The big news corporations are going to put out there like, oh, we need to win back Congress. That ain't what you need to be concerned about. Your concern as a citizen should be your state legislatures. These are the people who really can affect your lives. If they never vote back Roe v. Wade, if they never codify abortion inside of the in Washington D.C., you can still have that done on the state level. You can still have those rights enacted on the state level. And until we understand that we have to take back our state elections, we're fighting a losing race. They spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on a presidential election to take your mind, eyes, and attention off of what really is important. And what's really is important is what's happening within your respective states. Those state legislatures, those city councilmen, those school board representatives. These are the people who touch you. They touch your family. They touch your lives. I promise you, if you can change the narrative within your state, all of that shit over in Washington will work itself out. Because I promise you, if you live in a red state and you can flip or get close to flipping your state legislature, that's going to send a red flag to those people in Congress and say, oh shit, I need to be worried. You know why Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't fucking worried? Because the state legislature in Georgia, the Senate and the House of Representatives in Georgia is still staunchly red. So she don't give a damn. Yeah, y'all voted Warnock and Ossoff. She don't give a fuck. She's over here like, oh, I'm not worried about it. I got my position. I ain't going nowhere. They're gonna vote me in anytime. Marcus Flowers, a black man, ran against her, as a Democrat last election cycle and got bludgeoned because Marjorie Taylor Greene knew Georgia for all of that voting for Warner, voting for Warner and Ossoff. She knew the state is still red. Why? Because she could look at the state legislature. And when people get serious about how their lives are being changed, they will really concentrate on those state and municipalities elections. And I'm going to say that to you. Yes, Donald John got convicted today, but November is not. Those people who've been here on my channel know I've been saying this since 2022 midterm election. I kept saying 2024 should not be about Washington, D.C. It has to be about us taking back our state capitals. Even if this is not a year where you vote on your governor, this is still a year where you can affect and vote for change within your state legislature, your state senators, your state representatives. They all of your state representatives and many of your state senators are up for re-elections. And if we vote the right way and we get out the vote and we concentrate within our states, that will really affect and actuate change. Because what happens is even if it's a red state and your governor is Republican, if that state legislator flips and goes from red to blue, what happens is that governor doesn't have a rubber stamp from legislature that everything that they want gets rubber stamped. Now you can stop some of this shit. Now you can say, hey, let's talk about changing some of these statewide laws, because I promise you, there's too much focus on Washington, D.C. and not enough focus on the states. And that's on purpose. The Republicans don't want you to focus on your local elections or your statewide elections. They want you to just think about Washington, D.C. That's all they care about. When the rubber really hits the pavement, and here's why, a newsflash, why they don't care anymore. They know they already got the Supreme Court. They got the Supreme Court in their back pocket, because the feckless ass Democrats refuse to go and say full throated, hey, we're gonna expand the Supreme Court. We're I don't care how you feel. We're expanding the Supreme Court because this shit is too oppressive and too draconian right now. Feckless ass Joseph Robinette and his administration and the establishment Dems, my own frat brother Hakeem Jeffries and all, these people refuse to go on record saying that they have every intent to expand the Supreme Court. And they refuse to run on that because they're feckless. I say this wholeheartedly. I promise you, if you focus on those local and state elections, it will force Washington to change. I promise you that. I promise you, when those U.S. House of Representatives and Senate, U.S. Senate members see that within their local states, shit done change, it will force them to rethink some of the fuck shit that they got going on. I'm telling you. Why do you think the Republicans go out of their way in these red states to gerrymander these districts? They're doing everything to gerrymander districts because they know if these people really know and understand what this means on the state level, it really could mess us up. And they're doing everything they can to stop it. Karen Bass didn't. Karen Bass said shit. She hates. She said she was going to do some homelessness. Is put of control in California. Listen, Gabby, you out there? I ain't out there. Local elections are the only ones people usually ignore. They do ignore it. School board elections. I promise you, none of these book bans and all of this shit goes through if we concentrate on local and state elections, gubernatorial elections, state legislatures, your state house and your state, more so than Congress, your state house and your state senate is probably the most important bodies that you come in contact with. They have the most effect on what happens to you on a day-to-day basis. Your state house and your state senate. These people affect your life on a day-to-day basis more than any other body. But mainstream media and people all over Al Gore's good internet, all they concentrate on is Joseph Robinette and Donald John. And if you really look at Donald John's first 10 tenure as president, he didn't do anything. It was Mitch McConnell in the Senate that got all of those Supreme Court nominees through, that got all of those federal judges on the bench. There were, I think it was over 300 federal judges that Donald John seated. It was like either over 300 or close to 300 federal judges that they got seated. People who were not prepared to be on a federal bench with a lifetime appointment, people who did not have the pedigree, people who did not have the experience. There were individuals who were fresh out of law school that they put on the federal bench. Now, here's the caveat to that. How does shit get to the level of these people? In most cases, a lot of times, it has to go through your local district attorney, because in many cases, the local district attorney is the one who decides what is and is not going to go to court, what is and is not going to be charged with a crime. That's why I say stuff on the state and local level affect you more. When the police arrest you, guess who decides whether or not you're going to go to court? The DA, the district attorney. It's not Washington, D.C. Thank you, Janae. Don't forget, on the local level, there are city ordinances and city laws and bills that and city ordinances that you also vote on that we need to be concerned about. Donald John, as much as he tries to walk around like he's Billy Badass and he's running shit and like he's, the Don, the Da, and the Duh, go back and look at his presidency. He didn't really do a lot. It was the people around him. It was Mitch McConnell in the Senate. It was the DOJ. It was all of the entities around him. It was not him. And then more so than that, even more than DC, it is your state and local governors and your state legislatures. If I live in a state like Arkansas, over there with Governor Quasimodo, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. If I live in Texas with Governor Hot Wheels, Greg Abbott. If I live in Florida under Governor Death Sentence, if I live in Louisiana, if I live in North Carolina, if I live in Virginia, if I live in Kentucky, there's a whole lot of states out there. Well, Kentucky has a Democratic governor, but their legislature is staunchly Republican. If I live in Tennessee, Listen, let me help y'all understand. One of the worst places to live right now that flies under the radar is the state of Tennessee. The shit that they are two states, Tennessee and North Carolina. Tennessee and North Carolina right now are fighting to get that third position in the holy trinity of racism, discrimination, and bigotry. We know the first two uh, points in the holy trinity is Texas and Florida. But Tennessee and North Carolina is fighting. And if you ask me, Tennessee is winning. Tennessee is over there doing everything in their power to be seen as the worst place on earth. I'm just remember Tennessee was the state where they violated HIPAA laws and put all people's medical records out there if they were transgender. Put it out there in public. So I want to say that the other big news from well, before the verdict came out, I was already going to report on Donald Trump because I was supposed to be reporting on the fact that um from his days on the Apprentice, one of the producers from The Apprentice um today marked the day that his NDA was no longer valid and he could speak his mind, and he came right on record saying there should be film and tapes of Donald John saying the N-word when referring to my frat brother Kwame Jackson. If you remember the first season of The Apprentice, there was a white guy. The two finalists was Kwame Jackson, a black man, and I believe his name was Bill Rancic or something like that. It was Bill something. I think it was Bill Rancic or something like that. And when they were deliberating on who should win, everybody concluded that Kwame Jackson should have won. A good Kappa man, a good Noop. And shout out to all my Noops out there. Um, Everybody knew Kwame had won that hands down. However, Donald John went to the people and said, "Do you really think America would be okay with a nigger winning?" Hard ER. Now let's be clear. Let's be clear. We're not surprised that Donald John is loosely and flippantly using the N-word. I think we all probably already imagined that he was using the N-word, but his good friend Mark Brunell, executive producer of The Apprentice, Survivor, and several other Mark Burnett, I said Brunell, that's a football player. Mark Burnett, thank you, is the executive producer. Mark Burnett. We know that he's aligned with Donald Trump, and so it's already probably accepted that Mark Burnett already either deleted them, trashed them, got rid of the tapes. But we have no reason to believe. I believe every parts of Donald John using the N-word when referring to Kwame. We knew Kwame won. Kwame won that hands down. And when Kwame did not win, everybody, white, black, blue, or purple, knew the fix was in. So well, actually, tell you, Donald John never gave out stimmies. He never gave out a stimulus check. The stimulus checks came from Congress. And when the stimulus checks came out, Congress, both on the House and the Senate side, was Democrat. It was Democrats who gave out stimulus checks, not Donald John Trump. Let's just be clear. And if the president was a Democrat, you would have got more than that weak ass 1,200 that they gave out, or 60, whatever it was, 1,200, 1,600, whatever the fuck that was. So that was the news that came out before the guilty verdict. So that was the news that was going around Donald Trump, and that has gotten sidelined by the fact that he's been found guilty. But let's be clear, for all of these people especially these alleged black people that are voting for Donald John Trump, which is not true. The majority of black people are not voting for Donald John Trump. That's a misnomer. That is unfactual information. But for those people thinking about it, he is who we think he is. Donald Trump is exactly who we thought he was. A racist, a bigot, and discriminatory against anybody that doesn't fit the big five: white, male, heterosexual, Christian, and rich. That's the big five: white, male, heterosexual, Christian, and rich. That's the big five. If you don't fit in that big five, then he doesn't care about you. I'm just being honest. So, listen, we don't spend a whole hour over here on Donald John because we did need to break it down. What did we break down? We broke down the fact that he's probably not going to spend any time in jail. We also broke down the fact that he still has the right to vote in Florida, contrary to popular belief. Because he was convicted of the felonies in New York, and New York convicted felons can still vote in New York. The Florida law about felons not being able to vote, the proviso to that is if you're not a convicted felon from the state of Florida, the laws that are the laws from the state that you were convicted of apply to you. So he would still have the right to vote. So it is what it is. Sentencing will be on July 11th, just 4 days before the Republican National Convention. Please be clear. Your Speaker of the House has already given full-throated support to him since the conviction. Let me also speak to, and y'all know we broke this down on this channel a couple weeks ago. I'm still upset with my frat brother Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats that helped keep Mike Johnson in the speakership, even though I told y'all then, Mike Johnson is the worst of the worst and the most draconian and the most conservative of all Republicans. But you got Hakeem Jeffries and fucking Democrats voting to keep his ass as the fucking speaker. And this bastard is once again giving full-throated support to Donald John Trump. This is the feckless, weak, puss-ass shit that the Democrats do all of the time. And this shit makes my nuts itch. Makes my nuts itch. Well, so Jeff, I called it when Nancy Pelosi said she was stepping down. If y'all remember on this platform, I said that day, if Hakeem Jeffries is is the person that she's backing for leader of the Democratic Party, it's going to be the same fuck shit and bullshit, the same old centrist, old ass fuck shit from the Democratic Party, and we're not going to see any change in the Democratic Party. And I'll be damned if I wasn't right, word for word. We got to move on, Donald John. We got a whole dossier over here, and we ain't even got to the dossier. Listen, sir, go with God. We have nothing else. Go with God. I want to give y'all an update on a case. This is also a sugar spike moment. If y'all remember, we reported on the case where the black man, he was African. This is in the state of Maryland, I believe. Let me check that. I believe it was in Maryland. Hold on, let me check that. But if y'all remember, he went to the psychiatric ward, and they brought the police and all of those people in, and the man ended up dying because they held him to the ground. He couldn't breathe. The man essentially suffocated to death. We reported on this. We even showed the video of this case. His name was this was last year. His name was Ervo Otieno. and I believe it was in Maryland. I'm almost 1,000% sure it was in Maryland, but we reported on it extensively. He was being he was being taken to a psychiatric ward, and they said he was acting up, and he ended up dying at the hands of officers and some of the staff down to that psychiatric hospital. But we reported on it here. He was of African descent. Well, we come to find out that the charges have been reduced for three of the people that were facing prosecution in the death of this man during his admission to this psychiatric ward. And we watched the video here. We talked about it. Yeah. Now, this comes just weeks after prosecutors withdrew charges against 5 other sheriff's deputies. So the 3 that are having reduced charges are the 3 workers from the psychiatric ward. And like I said, that comes just weeks after prosecutors withdrew charges against 5 of the sheriff's deputies involved. Just a mess. And this is in the great state of Maryland. Blue is the blue states. So it's no justice for black people. I keep trying to tell y'all, they don't see us as human beings. They don't see the humanity in us. For us, we could just be like dogs, and not even dogs. We're basically roadkill. We could be an armadillo trying to cross the street down on the highway. They run us over, and we just get kicked to the side of the highway. I'm just saying. So I'll continue to monitor it, but it is what it is. I just wanted to give y'all that update. In other sugar spiky news, so there's a lifeguard in the city of Los Angeles who is suing said city of Los Angeles for severe emotional distress after he was stationed near a pride flag last year. You heard me right. Jeffrey Little, who has worked for the city of Los Angeles for 22 years, filed a lawsuit on Friday of last week, claiming he is being discriminated against for his evangelical faith by being made to stand in the same vicinity as the Progress Pride flag. He alleges that he was suspended from his role with the department's background investigation unit last year after he took down 3 LGBTQ plus flags during Pride Month. So he took the flags down because he didn't want to be in the vicinity. He ain't want to see it. And he was suspended. And now he's suing the city because he feel like he don't need to have to see the Pride flags. The Los Angeles Board of Supervisors voted last year to require the rainbow flag be flown during the month of June at government buildings, which includes lifeguard stands. He claims the flags present a, quote, direct conflict, end quote, with his religious belief, and he fought to be placed at stations that would not fly the flag, as they did not have the right flag poles to fly any banner. He arrived at his station at Dockweiler Beach on June 21st, 2023, and found 3 nearby facilities, not at the facility that he was at, but nearby lifeguard stations, displaying the flags, and ordered by the lifeguards division chief. He then took it upon himself to remove said flags, and he said he was given, quote, a direct order, end quote, from the chief to ensure the flags were displayed throughout the month. He is accusing the Department of religious discrimination and retaliation, alleging officials did not substantively engage with his objections and instead threatened discipline and eventual termination for failure to raise the Progress Pride flag. He is asking for damages based on severe emotional distress and a standing exemption from raising the flag. Sir, sir, sir. There are a lot of places where you can go, and that may be the rule of the day. Sir, you do realize that you live in the great state of California. Blue is the bluest state. You really feel like you're going to get away with taking down pride flags during Pride Month and then try to sue the city when the city had a whole city ordinance saying that pride flags will be flown during the month of June? Sir, what the fuck are you thinking? Now, mind you, he's probably late at night on Jacked, Grinder, Growler, Sniffies, Backdoor, and any other gay hookup site trying to get his back blown out. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm just telling you what I know. Bruh is getting his back blown out. I can tell you that right now. You got this much of an issue where you got to be taking pride flags down. Yeah, bro, we already know how you get down. You getting your back blown out. That's how this shit works out. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. Go with God, sir. We have nothing for you. We don't believe that any of this is gonna fly. Sir, go with God. Let's get to some of the celebrity news of the day. That's all for our sugar spike moment of the day. Let's get to the news of the day. Vince McMahon is in the news. And he got some good news today. The former WWE employee that was accusing Vince McMahon of sexual assault and sex trafficking has agreed to hold off on her lawsuit at the request of the U.S. government as the federal government conducts its own investigation into the former wrestling mogul. Janelle Grant filed the bombshell lawsuit against McMahon, and we've reported on it here back in January. It has some very gory details. We talking about her. Didn't it involve like fecal matter or something like that in part of it? And her, it was real sordid and real seedy. We read it here on this platform, but it's a little reprieve, but not so much of a reprieve. So he ended up having to resign as the executive chairman of WWE. Of WWE's parent company TKO, after the lawsuit and everything. I mean, it sounds like it's good for him, but it's not so good because the reason that she's agreeing to delay her lawsuit is so that the federal government can do their investigations and put their shit out. And when the feds get their eyes on you, baby, the feds don't go after you unless they know they can get a conviction. So, sir, I'm here to tell you, Mr. McMahon, this ain't looking good for you, sir. I don't know what to tell you. I do know what to tell you. And you know what we say around these parts? Say it with me. If y'all can put the hashtag in the chat, go ahead and put the hashtag in the chat now. But say it with me. What do we say around these parts when we have nothing else to do with you? Sir, go with God. We have nothing for you. Could I get a hashtag go with God in the chat? Hashtag go with God. I promise you that Diddy is the never-ending story. The never-ending story. The shit never ends. Can I get a day without Diddy, update on Diddy? I'm so sick of him. The shit never ends. This is the never-ending story. This shit never ends. Right, Janae? Diddy is becoming like Kanye was. If y'all remember a few months ago, Kanye West was our proverbial hashtag ABC because a bitch just came with Kanye. Diddy is now in the same predicament with us. Like a bitch just came. I know, Danny, it's gonna be stuck in your head. For those of us that grew up during being able to watch in real time the Never Ending Story, and we remember that song, it's gonna be stuck in your head forever. Shout out to the Never Ending Story, that goddamn song. So Diddy's former makeup artist claims that she heard Cassie being abused. Her name is Mila Morales, and she says she worked with Diddy and Cassie for years as their primary makeup artist. She spoke with CNN's Laura Coates today, and she stated that she heard Diddy assault Cassie back in 2010. And she said it ended up leaving Cassie with a black eye. According to Miss Morales, she saw Diddy and Cassie enter a hotel room where they proceeded to get into a heated argument. She said, quote, whatever was going on in there, I don't know, but all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start picking it up and just getting her out to safety and bringing her to my house. End of quote. She recalled Cassie coming out of the room looking, quote, badly beaten, end quote, claiming she had a black eye, a busted lip, and knots all over her head. The makeup artist says she and Cassie did not go to the police after the incident out of fear of Diddy. She also said, quote, Puffy's a very powerful person and we were quite terrified. I just brought her to my house and my friend, who is a doctor, treated Cassie to make sure she didn't have a concussion. End of quote. Mr. Morales said it was painful to see Cassie in such pain. Aside from her recollection, she did not offer any additional corroboration of the alleged incident during the interview. Listen, Miss Morales, we don't need you coming out here putting statements out to TMZ. What we need you to do is talk to the DA or whoever the prosecutor is for the federal government and corroborate your story there. We need you to tell your story on the witness stand. Telling it to TMZ ain't helping us at all. We need this bastard behind bars, and we need your ass to go on the witness stand and start singing like a birdie there. You telling us here ain't doing a goddamn thing. Jason said he saw the interview and he looked shook, and she looked shook during the interview. I believe you, Jason. I'm looking at the pictures. Child. Yeah. Listen. Over here down to the L Teddy 27, we believe Cassie from the beginning. When the lawsuit first came out, we immediately full-throated gave support and believed Cassie from the beginning. We didn't even need to see the video. We knew exactly what it was from the beginning. We knew Puffy wasn't shit. We talked about this yesterday, how my generation has been complicit in Puffy and his reign of tyranny on people across the fruited plains and internationally for decades now, in the same way we were complicit and silent with Robert Sylvester. And y'all know who Robert Sylvester is because he's behind bars now. But in the same way we were complicit with Robert Sylvester, we were also complicit and silent with Diddy and his fuck shit that we watched in real time. We are to blame. I include myself. That's why I say we. We are to blame. Child, just Diddy, we don't have that type of time. We've been on here for over an hour, and we're not finna spend this type of time on you. You're in the fucking dossier every day, and we got this type of time to deal with you, sir. Sir, go with God. Oh, yeah. This is not a palate cleanser. This is one of our stories in the dossier, but it does look like a palate cleanser. Oh. If you are new here and you don't know what a palate cleanser is, Ask the people in the chat. They'll tell you what a palate cleanser is. But we have palate cleansers around here. And this right here, oh, God will qualify certainly as a palate cleanser. Here's my question. Mr. Kravitz, Lenny Kravitz, that is. Lenny, how old is Lenny Kravitz? I know he's in his 50s. Let me see how old he is. That young man don't got one speck of gray hair. How, sir, do you not have a inch of gray, not one speck of gray? He is 60. Excuse me. He just recently turned 60 on this past Sunday. He just celebrated a birthday this past Sunday, May 26th. Happy belated birthday to you, sir. He is 60 years old. That's 60, and don't have not one strand of gray hair. How, sir, is this even possible? I'm almost 20 years your junior, and I got gray hairs flying all over the place. God help me. I'm trying to get rid of them. I got them flying everywhere. And your body looks like, oh, most 20-year-olds don't look that goddamn good. God damn it. Can we just sit here and ogle at this man's body? Whew, Jesus. Oh, the things that we would do. Listen, the things that we would do with this young man, his body. Well, he just wants y'all to know that he's been celibate for over 9 years now. He says that he's been celibate for over 9 years while on a spiritual journey. Oh, that first orifice, hole, vagina, mouthpiece, whatever he enters for that first time. Listen, whatever body this young man's penis enters for that first time after 9 years, girl, can I tell y'all? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Hey, should have bought a Honda, but I bought a Kia. You tie my yellow bow tie. When I tell you, it's going to be some things happening. The man said he been celibate for over 9 years. Now, I just wonder if that includes masturbation. I'm just asking. Now, he is on record said, listen, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had my days. I was blowing backs out and I was dipping my spoon into every sugar bowl I can from sea to shining sea. And I ain't mad at it. Because when you are as fine as this young man, I ain't mad at you if you around here dipping your spoon into every sugar bowl from sea to shining sea. The world needs that spoon dipped into its proverbial sugar bowl. We need it. I just want to know. I mean, man, woman, boy, girl, cat, dog. I don't know too many people that would deny. I know straight people who would say, if Lenny Kravitz said, yeah, let me dip my spoon in your sugar bowl, you might be inclined to think twice about it. You may say no, but I promise you would think twice about it because you might be like, damn, that nigga is fine. Shit. God damn. Fuck. Shit. Damn. Hey, Lemon Kush Pepper. Mm. Right, Danny. He used to be a hoe. Cassandra say she know that did good. Hall model, one of the hall models go over there and sit by Cassandra, help her out. Because Cassandra is over there for Clem. She's over there having a whole moment. Somebody go over there and sit with Cassandra because she's having a whole moment. Child, girl. I assume that he's over there, you know, squeezing one out. You can't make me believe he ain't jacking off. Because if you ain't jacking off, your body is having wet dreams on a regular. Let's be clear. The way the male body works physiologically, if you ain't jacking off, it's going to come out some kind of way. I'm just telling you. The seminal vesicles, you know, the seminal ducts in your testes, meaning those things that make semen or sperm, they replenish themselves every 22 hours. So every 22 hours, more, you know, another batch of sperm gets created. Hey, Miss Sharon, I ain't seen you in a minute, boo. So what I'm saying is, you said you going 9 years, baby, it's going to come out your body. You're going to revert back to 12 years old. You know, when you're 12 years old, you have wet dreams at 11 and 12 years old. So you're going to revert back. Listen, I'm thinking he's jacking off 3-4 times a day. I'm just telling you. If you ain't getting that, baby, you jacking off 3-4 times a day. I promise you he is. How you think he stays so ripped? That might be how he ain't got no gray hair, from jacking off 3-4 times a day. It might create mental clarity, Jason, but it also creates sticky sheets. I'm just saying. Are his palms raw? I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Let's a moment of honesty. Remember when his meat fell out? When he was on stage and his pants ripped and his meat fell out, and we realized that he be, you know, raw dogging it and he don't wear no drawers. The meat wasn't that big. Now he may very well be a grower. I don't know. The man is too perfect. He's a whole ass artist. He's fine as hell. He can't be perfection like that. So I imagine it probably ain't that big. I'm giving him a 5.5 inch. I'm not imagining Lenny Kravitz, as fine as he is, being this perfect piece of specimen, being over here working with 9, 10, 11 inches. I'm giving 5.5 because you can't check all of the boxes. You can't be that perfect, sir. So I'm giving him 5.5 inches at best. At full staff, when the flag is at full staff, it's 5.5 inches. I'm not giving him more than 5.5 inches. I'm just saying, I still take the 5.5. Let's be clear. I still take all of the 5.5. But I'm just saying that's all I'm giving him. 5.5. Anybody giving him more than that? I ain't giving him more than 5.5 inches. Didn't we put it in the members only? I think we put it in the members only chat. I think we put those pictures and that video in the members only chat when his meat fell out. I think, you know, in the members only chat, we have all celeb peen pics and videos. All of those go in the members only chat. Please be clear. We don't miss a beat in the members only chat. All celebrity peen pics and meat videos, they make it to the members only chat. We just help out all of our straight delegation. We do have some straight men in the members only chat, and we usually warn them before we just put meat out there, but the meat still makes it to the members only chat. I'm just letting you know. LC say none of his past women are trying to get him back. So she said he probably got a bad stroke game. Like, you know what I expected? You can't expect him to check all of the boxes. That would just be too much perfection for one person. So I might agree with Elsie. Maybe it's bad sex or the meat too small or something like that. Like I don't envision him, being a shoulder boulder mountain holder downstairs. He ain't built like a tripod like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Janae said Lisa Bonet ended up going full on flower child after she got rid of him, child. Well, Janae said there's an inverse. That's our medical expert, Janae. She said there's an inverse correlation between size and height. The short men usually be the ones that have fucking third leg. Now, the shorter they are, those men under the height of 5'5", they're shorter than 5'5". I promise you, 9 times out of 10, they over there working with a fucking third ass leg built like a fucking tripod. And I promise you, if they're over 6'3", 6'4", 8 times out of 10, the ones that are over 6'4", they ain't working with too much. Matter of fact, most of them end up being bottoms. I'm just saying they want to get they womb plunge, get they box and beat in. I'm just telling you what I know. I've been in the game a long time. That's why I feel like y'all can say what y'all want to say about Kevin Hart, but if Kevin Hart came around these parts, he'll get everything he wanted. Kevin Hart will get everything he wants. I just believe Kevin Hart over there will blow your fucking back out. I'm just telling you what I know. Kevin Hart, a short little ass Kevin. I promise you, you get in that bedroom, he'll blow your whole back out. Have you climbing walls? I'm just telling you what I know. Climb every mountain. Shout out to the Sound of Music. I'm just telling you what I know. Cassandra, you don't like his daughter Zoe? Well, show us on the doll, Cassandra, where Zoe hurt you. Just come show us on the doll where she hurt you, please, please. You notice Kevin Hart exes always be mad when he lead them. I promise you, he over there blowing backs out. Ciao. Anyway, Lenny Kravitz, we love you down. We hope you at least jacking off. Now, if you need somebody to help you break that celibacy, I'm sure there's a whole lot of people over here, me included, that may help you. I take the 5.5 just to put you on my resume. I take the 5.5 and then throw you to the side and be like, "Child, girl, I had it. It was all. It wasn't all that. He fine and all, but it wasn't all that. We trifling as hell. I'm trifling as hell. So my trifling ass, I'll be to let him fuck me down with his 4.5 inches or 5.25 inches. And then afterwards be like, child, I had it. It wasn't all that, child. Trying to downplay it. Meanwhile, it's on my resume, girl. Sometimes you just need a resume builder. It ain't about how big it is. It's just about it being a resume builder. So I just need you to be added to the resume. Be like, child, girl, I had Lenny Kravitz. Yeah, he fine, girl. Girl, I had it, child. Put a 27 in the chat if you know in your heart of hearts there's certain people on your resume of men that's in your body count, you fuck them just as a resume builder. I'm telling you what I know. Resume builders are a real thing. Some men that you have sex with, it could have been in high school, it could have been in college, it could have been while you were an adult. You only had sex with them as a resume builder. Wait a minute, Yana. What are you telling us? You trying to say he's on your resume, Yana? You trying to tell us you done had him climb every mountain? You trying to tell us something, Yana? Y'all know we love Yana over here. Yana is one of our good hall monitors. If you want to know who to sit by when you first come to class, Taya, Yana is one of our good hall monitors. You could go sit by Diamond Pearl Gym, Yana, those are Tanya LaFleur. Them three right there, you could go sit by them. They gonna teach you the way. They're gonna teach you how to make it through here. But I'm just saying, we all done had some resume builders that we have just because you just wanted it on your resume. The bitch was fine, but you knew he was toxic as fuck, and you knew the sex wasn't gonna be good. But you just had it said, "Girl, I fucked him." That shit wasn't shit. Just to see how it was, just so you made sure. Girl, you fucked him just to be like, "Girl, I just wanted to make sure." Just wanted to see how the dick was. Just wanted to make sure he really wasn't shit. Now on the other side, men will fuck anything with a hole. I equate heterosexual men and pussy like little kids with candy. I promise you, if you had a small child a piece of candy, they're gonna eat that piece of candy. I don't care how nasty that candy is. They gonna take that candy. They gonna eat it. Even if they be like, after they eat it, they be like, "Oh, that wasn't good. That was nasty." They still gonna try that candy. They still gonna put that candy in their mouth and eat it. It's the same way with heterosexual men and coochie. You throw some cooch at a heterosexual man, baby, they gonna try the cooch, no matter what it's attached to. They may later on say, "Oh, that shit wasn't good. Her pussy wasn't good," or whatever. But they still gonna try it out and see how it was. We didn't ask for body count. We just asked you to put a 27 in the chat if you had somebody on your resume or in your body count that you know you ain't really want to be with, or you know they want shit, but you just did it because it was a resume builder. You just needed to have them on your resume. I'm just saying. Anyway, we love you, Lenny Kravitz. Love you down. We could look at your body from now until Jesus come back, but we gotta move on. We got to move on. We have a whole dossier. Sir, go with God. We finished that, and that was a half a bottle of wine we just finished. God help us. That is Megan Thee. Megan Thee is in the news today because an ex-cameraman is accusing her of harassment. But Megan Thee's lawyers are saying that this man is a whole ass con artist, and he's just mad because he got his ass fired. Let me read this to you, and this is according to the Jasmine brand. Attorneys representing Megan Thee Stallion have slammed the lawsuit from the rapper's former employee. As previously reported, last month, Emilio Garcia accused Megan Thee Stallion of harassment, claiming in June 2022 he was trapped in a moving vehicle while the Grammy Award winner engaged in intercourse with another woman right beside him. The cameraman, who worked for Megan Thee Stallion between 2018 and 2023, also alleged she failed to pay him for overtime hours. After the lawsuit initially made headlines, Megan's legal team released a statement saying the salacious accusations will be dealt with in court. So here's what the lawsuit says, quote, plaintiff is a con artist who is manipulating the judicial system to act as his publicist and bullhorn in a desperate attempt to boost his failed singing career while trying to tear down the successful career of Megan Thee Stallion. And that's in court documents in the lawsuit from Megan's attorneys. Also in the same court documents from Megan's attorneys, we know her name is Megan Pete. They said, quote, throughout his tenure as an independently contracted photographer and videographer for Ms. Pete and her production companies, Mr. Garcia repeatedly falsified his invoices and overcharged Miss Pete for services he never completed and sought reimbursement for money he never spent. End of quote. And that's a part of the court documents coming from Megan Thee Stallion's legal team. Um, her attorneys also go on to say that Mr. Garcia has, quote, a pattern of misrepresentations that were so prevalent that Miss Pete was forced to terminate him in June of 2023, end of quote. They also said in a quote, angry at the loss of this high profile gig and his exile from the inner circles of stardom, Mr. Garcia filed a factually and legally frivolous complaint. He took a run of the mill wage and labor dispute and trumped up his frivolous claims with sensationalist false allegations of sex, debauchery, and workplace harassment for the sole purpose of creating a media firestorm to tarnish the career and reputation of Miss Pete. End of quote. I don't know what's going on, Meg, but we know you got a little bit of change and you done paid these lawyers to come out with all of this stuff. Megan, this comes with stardom, Megan. You should be used to. I'm just glad you got you had enough you know how to get some good attorneys to kind of refute some of this fuck shit. And we glad that your money and your attorneys are working for you. We wish nothing but the best for you, Meg. I hope nothing but the best for you. I don't know Mr. Garcia. I don't know what he got going on, but that's him on the right. And I told y'all point blank, anytime you see a bitch with face tattoos, never trust them. Any motherfucker that gets face tattoos, that's somebody you don't need to trust. You don't hire them. You don't trust them, because if they got if they got the audacity to get tattoos on their face, that's bad business. We love you, Meg. We're rooting for you. We hope this works out. And we have to tell you to go with God. Go with God. Oh God, not this whore. Not this whore. Y'all know we don't like this whore. Giselle Bryant says that the colorism accusations toward Real Housewives of Potomac are thoroughly untrue. She also has some words about Robin Dixon leaving, and the new girl on the cast. And this is according to news outlets, during a recent television appearance, Giselle Bryant addressed colorism accusations from viewers, which stems from several years of tumultuous exchanges with co-stars Candace Dillard Bassett and Dr. Wendy Osefo. When asked about the accusations, she said, quote, I think it's extremely unfortunate. Am I a colorist? Absolutely not. And my life speaks to that. I'm raising brown girls. It's hurtful to them for people to say that about their mother. I love who and what I am, meaning my skin is very thick. People say all kinds of untrue things about me, and I just have to realize that I can't make everybody happy out here. End of quote. The person interviewing her then asked her if the accusations hurt her. She then said, quote, no, because I know that I'm not. I'm a hard pill to swallow. So if you can't make up a lie about me and run with it, then I think that's what people like to do. Do we miss and that was the end of quote. They did touch upon Robin Dixon being fired. She then said, quote, do we miss our girl? Absolutely. Robin is not only my friend on the show, but she's one of my best friends off the show. So she is definitely missed. End of quote. They asked her about the new chick, Stacey Rush or Rush. She said, Um, she said, I don't know whether or not I've met Stacy, but if I have, I like her. What the fuck does that mean, Giselle? Let's be clear, Giselle. You are a colorist. The fact that your daughters are brown skin is because your baby daddy is black as fuck. So that didn't come from you. You have to love your daughters. I don't expect anything else from a mother. Let's be clear. I don't expect a mother not to love her daughters. Does that escape the fact that you're a colorist ass bastard? No, you can still be colorist and have brown daughters. Let's be clear, Giselle. So the fact that you have daughters that are brown, that are darker than you, doesn't mean that you're still not a colorist. You can still love your daughters to the moon and back and still be a colorist ass bastard. And that's what you are, Giselle. You and your neck and your cankles. Not today, not today, neck. Not today, ankles. Like Giselle. Nobody believes you. People don't like you because you're a deplorable, horrible individual. You're a horrible individual inside and out. You display the worst of the entirety of the human spectrum and genome. There's no redeeming qualities about you. You're a horrible ass individual. You're an awful person. Period. Which is why those same brown girls that you talk about, those daughters that are darker than you, they drag your ass and read you for filth every chance they get. Grace, whatever the other two names, Angel and Arithmetic, or Anomaly and Aramaic, whatever their names is. I know it starts with an A. Abstract. Abstract. Abstracted architecture. I don't know the twins' name. Whatever the goddamn names are. Ma'am, they can't stand your ass. And they can't wait to get out of that household with you. Listen, I see y'all put their names in the chat. I don't care what their names is. They gonna be whatever I call them. That starts with an A. Hey, kiss my cheeks, boo. Kiss my cheeks. Say I made it just in time for Jizzy Dragon. You know that bitch Giselle ain't shit. That's why you were 51st the lady when you were married to Jamal Bryant, and you were 51st lady of that church. You got a bad snatch, you got bad throat, you got bad mouthpiece, and you got bad cooch, which is why Jamal Bryant thought it not robbery enough to cheat on you left, right, and sideways. Yeah, when he was bored and decided, yeah, it's time for me to get one off. I don't feel like going nowhere. I'm just gonna go out and get one off while I'm here at the house. He did that, and that got you three beautiful girls. Those daughters are the best thing you have going on. They're the only good things you have. The only good things you have going on, Giselle, is Grace and what you said, Spicy Original, Abacus, and Alchemy. Yes. Jason said Abhor and Arai, whatever we call them with an A. Those three young ladies are the best thing about you. Everything else about you is horrible. Horrible. You're an awful individual. Now we know Jamal Bryant just announced his engagement to some other lady, and I'm sure she will take pride in being 51st the lady. I love my frat brother Jamal Bryant and love him to death. But I know if he marrying you, whatever the new lady's name, Carrie something, Carrie Tucker or something like Carrie Taylor or Carrie Tucker, or whatever her name is, ma'am, you're not going to be the first lady. You're going to be the 51st lady. Because my frat brother is dipping his spoon into every sugar bowl he can. Giselle Bryant, you're the worst of us. The worst of us. Nobody likes you, not even your own daughters. Those same brown girls, those same daughters, they can't stand your ass either. You ain't shit. Fuck you, Giselle, and fuck your life. Go with God. Not 18 and 18. Snoop Dogg wants you to know he got roaches to sell. Well, not roaches to sell, but a roach to sell. Apparently, they are auctioning off a half smoked marijuana blunt from Snoop Dogg. This marijuana blunt is it was preserved in resin in Snoop's personal ashtray to display for eternity. This is and this is the description of the item in the auction. Here's the description of the item in the auction. The blunt was preserved in the resin in Snoop's personal ashtray to display for eternity. This is an auction piece like no other. This is the first ever authenticated Snoop Dogg roach, making it one of the most unique pieces of memorabilia ever created. End of quote. You can purchase it. It's already, the last time I checked, the first bid was 2000. The bid was at $2,000 for one of Snoop Dogg's roaches in the ashtray. I'm just telling you what the man is auctioning off. That's his legacy. I mean, that's what he's known for. Tell me what of yours you are known for that people may pay a lot of money for because that's your lasting legacy. I might think that one of my used condoms might go up for auction because that's, the way I be getting my back blown out or the way I blow backs out at times. Hashtag verse gang. I can see that. A lube bottle. Um, but they're saying that they're expecting for the bidding to get up to six figures for one of Snoop's roaches. I'm just saying. Jason says Trey Songz says Snoop has used condoms in resin. The question, Jason, is was the used condom used on him or did he use it? Cams, if you need, I can be solely bottom for you. If you want, I can be solely bottom for you. While I'm not in a committed relationship with you yet, Cams, I can be verse, but let's be clear. I can be a total bottom for you, and you could use my stuff like a joystick and move me from position to position. That's what most of my tops do. They use it as a joystick and they move me around from position. They, grab on it and they use it and, say whatever direction I go, that's the direction you go in. The whatever direction I move your meat, that's the direction you move in. They kind of use it like that. I'm here for you. Y'all know Cams is my husband in my head. He's still trying to deny me, but don't worry, I'm gonna get him. And all of you all are invited to the wedding. When we get married, when me and Cams get married in wedded bliss, I'm gonna invite all y'all to the wedding. We're not going to simulcast it on YouTube, but if you dare, you dare. We're gonna invite y'all to the wedding. Anyway, yeah, Janae, we shifting gears around here. Would y'all actually bid on Snoop Dogg's roach? Is this something that y'all will put a bid in on? I figure it's a lot of white people, the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains, that will bid on something like this. I figure this is white people shit. This is shit for the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains. We don't have this type of time. Tell you what kind of wings you got, they better be lemon pepper. That's all I like is lemon pepper wings. We don't want nothing else but lemon pepper wings. I figure most black people, we ain't buying no goddamn road. This is shit for people that sitting from the Caucasus Mountains. We love you, Snoop. You know, they said you was I read something on TMZ. We reported yesterday on your wife. Um we reported yesterday on your wife opening the script club, and TMZ talked about that club opening, and they said you had the celebrities was there down to the script club. They said you had some of everybody. They said Wiz Khalifa was there, and all kinds of other people was there down to the script club. They said DJ Quick was there. Jason Martin. I don't even know who Jason Martin is, but they said the people was there down to the script club. I ain't mad at it, Snoop Dogg, or Shantae, his wife. Get it how you live. They said Big Boy was there. There was a whole Too Short was there. They said it was a whole lot of people there. Um, so they did auditions this past weekend for scrippers down to the script club. So we'll see. Go with God, sir. Go with God. Um, for those people wondering, there was a whole petition out to get the Vince Staples show a second season. So it has been greenlit for a second season. I enjoyed the first season. I did watch the first season of the Vince Staples show. It was actually pretty. I actually enjoyed it. So I'm interested to see what the second um what the second season gives of the Vince Staples show. So we'll be watching. That's all I got. He's a little cutie. I'll give him some if he wanted some. In a weak moment, enough alcohol involved. I'll give him some a little bit. I'll give him a little bit. Let him see what these walls feel like. Anyway, we happy for you. I'm looking forward to seeing the season 2. I hope you get started on that soon. That's all I got for it. Kodak Black got some baby mama drama going on. So his baby mama, whose name is Miranda Johnson, and recently had a baby boy from Wiz Khalifa. She posted a picture on Instagram of two of not Wiz Khalifa, Kodak Black. Not Wiz Khalifa, Kodak Black. She posted a picture on Instagram of two of Kodak Black's luxury vehicles smashed up with their windows ruined and the front windshield busted out. She took credit for it, and she put the images on her Instagram and said, quote, "Ho your shit next. Bitches better find them a bitch to play with." End of quote. Then in another tweet, she said, quote, "Fuck nigga, you just played yourself. I'll see you in court, fuck nigga." End of quote. Now, let me give y'all, these people are from South Florida. That's the Tri-County area. Miami-Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County. In South Florida, I'm just giving y'all insight to South Florida culture, okay? There's nothing worse that you can do to someone from South Florida than to call them a fuck nigga. When the word fuck is followed by nigga, where I come from, those immediately become fighting words. You don't call somebody a fuck nigga if you are already ready and prepared to fight. It's going down. When fuck nigga exits your mouth, that means you're ready to fight. That means it's going down. That means I'm ready for whatever comes, because it's going down. It's about to happen. You should expect that a fight, an altercation, a skirmish, a kerfuffle, whatever you want to term it, will ensue. I'm just saying. Tell you, you say you got half lemon pepper, half real garlic parm. You know, Wingstop have lemon parm. They got lemon parm, not garlic parm. They got lemon parmesan now. I'm just telling you, go ask for it. Anyway, but yeah, fuck nigga is as bad as it gets in terms of vernacular, AAVE or whatever they call it nowadays, Ebonics, whatever they call it. When you call somebody a fuck nigga, it's going down. I'm just telling you how it goes where I come from. It's going down. So she mad because he's cheating on her left, right, and sideways. And she smashed out his cards and shit like that because she's the baby mama. Hey, newsflash, Miss Johnson. You do realize that you got your back blown out and got impregnated by Kodak Black, who was a whole ass, internationally known rapper at the time that you got your back blown out. Did you really think he was going to be faithful? Like, what did you expect? I just don't understand you people. These are there's these Gen Zers. These are Xavier. Where the fuck is Xavier? Speaking of Xavier, where is Xavier? Y'all know we gonna cut. Somebody go in the group in the members only chat and tell Xavier, ask Xavier where the fuck he's at and why he's not over here in class. Because we ain't seen Xavier all day. Anyway, these are Harold and Xavier's people, late millennial and Gen Zers. I don't understand them. So we have nothing else. Go with God. This, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what this is, this would be the popcorn bucket, the commemorative popcorn bucket that you receive for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Now, if y'all remember, we reported on the popcorn bucket for Dune 2, which was supposedly that worm, and it looked like a fleshlight. Well, the makers of Deadpool and Wolverine said, we not gonna make it subtle. We gonna make it full throttle. You know what this is. So this is it. If you stick whatever you want in there, your hand, your meat, your balls, whatever you want in there, his mouth is open and ready for you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you what the people have. I just wanted you to know this is what it is. We reported on the Doom Part 2 popcorn bucket thing that looked like a fleshlight or something you should stick your meat in. Well, the people from Deadpool and Wolverine movie said we're not gonna even try to be subtle about it. We're just gonna call it what it is. It's a mouth. It's open to receive whatever you got going on. Get some. Diamond Pearl Jim, you called it. It's a glory hole. What do you want? I'm just saying. So if you go down to watch the movie for Deadpool and Wolverine, just be prepared. If you want to buy one of the commemorative popcorn receptacles, there it is. I just wanted you to know. This is the house of debauchery. So we're here for all of this kind of fuck shit. Mind you, if popcorn is in there, popcorn butter is a part of this as well. So that means that this mouthpiece is greased up already with the requisite amount of popcorn butter. Greased already up. I'm just telling you what's out there. Don't look at me. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reporting the news. I just report what I see. Don't get mad at me. In our last story of the day, this is the last story of the day. The FAA has gone ahead and approved Amazon's drone program. Remember, Amazon was looking to get approved their program where drones would drop off your packages to your front door. And so they had to get past a hurdle called BVLOS, which gives things that fly in the air, specifically drones, the permission to operate beyond the visible line of sight. That's what BVLOS stands for, beyond the visible line of sight. And there are laws against you flying something like a drone beyond the lines of visible line of sight. Well, they've been approved to go beyond the visible lines of sight, which now is one of the major hurdles for Amazon going full steam ahead with their drone program to have stuff delivered to your front door. Just letting you know. Now, I don't know what that does for people who live in apartment buildings and stuff like that. I'm assuming this will be only for people who live at residences. Me personally, when I order from Amazon, right, like behind where I live is an Amazon locker at the gas station. And they have one of those big Amazon lockers. And I get all my Amazon stuff delivered to the Amazon locker. That's why it's not sitting on my front porch and nobody can steal from me. And I just go up to the Amazon locker, put the little code in, get my shit, and carry my ass on home. I don't trust nothing sitting in front of my front door. People ain't shit. Um, so yeah, BVLOS. I would encourage you to if when you go to delivery, search on the Amazon when you doing your deliveries for Amazon, search to see if there's an Amazon locker close to you or in your neighborhood. And I would just get shit delivered to the Amazon locker, because you don't know what time of day it's gonna be. It could be delivered when you at work or you not home and shit like that. And you know how these people like to steal. It ain't worth it. Baby, I have my shit delivered to the Amazon locker all the time because it's right there. I mean, it's convenient for me because it's literally behind where I stay at the gas station. So it's real convenient. But yeah, I don't play around. Mm-mm. I ain't gonna have you steal my shit. Mm-mm. My Amazon driver is cool. She makes sure to hide my packages. You got a good one there. Now they're going to be snatching packages and drone, child. Not snatching the packages and drone. I'm just letting you know they got over their biggest hurdle from the FAA. So we'll see how this goes. We'll monitor the situation. And that's all we got for today. Listen. That is the entirety of the dossier. This was a evening run your mouth. Did y'all enjoy the evening run your mouth? If you enjoyed the evening run your mouth, put a 27 in the chat if you enjoyed us doing it later in the day as opposed to our regular 5 o'clock hour. If you enjoyed it being later, we may try to incorporate maybe doing once a week or once or twice a week, doing an evening run your mouth. Okay, tacos and tequila. Hey, boo. Xavier, where the fuck you coming from, Xavier? Because you done missed my whole class. Where the fuck you been at, Xavier? We've been talking about you the whole time, and your ass ain't been here. Where are you coming from, Xavier? Where you been? And why you ain't been over here in class? You know, we got to do this every now and again for our people over there on the West Coast, Cherise and Crispies and Danny and all of our people over there on the West Coast, Jason, all of our people over there on the West Coast Pacific time. You know, this is a better time for him. You was laid up with who? Who you laid up with, Xavier? You ain't grown. Child. I don't know why you thought you was grown, Xavier. You were not grown over here. Girl. Xavier over here thinking he grown. Girl. Shout out to my West Coast people. I hope y'all enjoyed this, West Coast people. Anyway, my East Coast people, I know it's late for y'all. Y'all getting ready to go to bed. I hope y'all enjoyed it too. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. I always say consider contributing to the platform. Listen, this is a labor of love. I always tell people, always contribute if you can monetarily to to your favorite YouTubers. This is not easy, nor is it cheap, because it takes a lot of time to put this stuff together our subscribers. So always consider, if you can and will, and you feel obliged to contribute, to those platforms, because it's a labor of love, and a lot of these people, ads, Google AdSense don't give us a whole lot, so they really don't. So certainly those YouTubers and content creators, they certainly look to those people who subscribe to them and who follow them to contribute to the platform. If you are so inclined, please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. And if you really want to, you can become a member or contribute to the platform. Even if you are a member, you can still contribute to the platform in the way of a cash app. All cash apps are much obliged and much appreciated. As I always say over here, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. Y'all could have been a whole lot of places, but y'all decided to be here with me. And I thank you. Oh God, Danny wants me to do the song. I haven't done the song in a long time. All right, just for you, Danny. I really need a cash app or two. Um, if I see a random cash out from you, is you watch a past video. I know I owe y'all interview with that vampire. It's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Let me do this just for you, Danny. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. And when you wake up, ready to say, it's time to make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. The feeling that I'll be back when the day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you. And you'll have things you'd like to talk about. I will too. That was just for Danny. I ain't did that in a long time. I usually do it with Ty. Ty ain't on here because he ain't shit. Shout out to Mr. Rogers and that song. Um, but yeah. Just wanted to tell y'all I'm I'll consider doing this at least once a week. We'll start off with once a week, and after that we'll go to twice a week. I mean, or more than that, but definitely I'll try to start next week. I'll try to do at least once a week for a evening run your mouth. I talk to Ty all the time. He ain't shit. I'm gonna call him now when I get off here and tell him he ain't shit. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. We've been on here for over 2 hours. Okay. It's time to get off. We finished our drink. Half a bottle of wine. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. Love y'all. Y'all have a good evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.